is really purposeful about what he or she is trying to accomplish in the classroom. I mean, you've got to know exactly it is what you want the kids to be able to know and be able to do.
An effective teacher is, I'm learning what that means. I guess that's probably it, right? An effective teacher is somebody who is constantly learning, because every day my lessons, or my good lessons, are when I've listened to my students and I've assessed them and I know what they need. And my bad lessons are when I think I know what they need, but I don't actually check. So that's got to be part of it, and I'm really trying to learn how to do that, and how to make formative and informal assessment part of my everyday. But the good teachers that I see, some of my mentors that I've had, they were just really responsive to their students. They also knew their students very well.
I define being effective as a teacher as motivating students to reach their highest potential, and also to achieve things that they maybe didn't think they could do.
Alongside critical thinking, I think an effective teacher is really all about the connections that you're making with your students.
Sure.
The kids have to know you care, right? And you can't be an effective teacher if the kids don't know you care.
Yeah.
And that you're here for them, that you're not here for you.
It pretty much is based on their responses, on their feedback. Sometimes I won't know until a week or so later if the learning we've done has been effective. It'll be all what they bring back to you at a later time. It's not instant. You would hope that it's instant, but it's not. A lot of the higher kids, the answers they give you, they're there already, and they're going to provide that immediate gratification for you as a teacher right there. But for the majority of the kids, it's always weeks, sometimes months later, that you know that they've gotten it. Because they come back with you we might be on another lesson plan, and it's relative to what we've covered in the past, and boom, they throw it right back at you.
Some days I feel like I'm not a good teacher, honestly, and I think that good teachers feel that way because you're always critical about your craft, and if you aren't critical, then you're probably not a good teacher.
People who are just really interested in critical thinking, and people who are getting their, having like authentic performances of their students' understanding. So those teachers tend to have like theater performances and spoken word performances, and their kids are out there doing things that are really visible. Like, what does that teacher do? How come those students are like engaged and having really difficult conversations? And how come those students are asking really good questions?
Assessment is definitely how you know that you're being effective. I always try to do pre and post assessments, and since I've been teaching, I've really gotten into the use of data and how it drives my instruction, so I can see sometimes things aren't effective, and then you get to go back and you make changes, and that's really powerful, what you learn from that.
Okay, so for number 1, Arab and Muslim refer to the same people. Raise your hand up high if you said that was true. 6, most men and women. High so I can see them. So Arab and Muslim refer to the same people. Okay, you put your hands down. Good. Number 2, the religion of Islam is very different from the religion of Christianity. So you want to raise your hand up high if you said that was true.
An example of data I've used is I give a baseline writing assessment at the beginning of the year, and I grade that on a 6-trait rubric, and then I tease out, these are the lowest traits for my 60 kids, and then from there I really go back to those papers and I look to find specific parts of those traits, and then I might align a series of lessons in Writer's Workshop to address those weaknesses. That's just one example.
When I know that I've effectively taught the things that I think that this person needs to learn, this person needs to learn, I'll hear that in the kind of behaviors and the kind of things that they say later applied to other situations.
But when you get those students who come to you and say things like, before I took your class, I didn't think I could go to college, and now I know that I can because you made me do college level work, or even when you get that student in class who, just all of a sudden you can sort of see in their face, they get this moment of realization of, oh, I hadn't thought about things like that before.
there are a variety of ways that you would try and measure that, because, accountability and, having some sort of metric to do all of those things, that's what people are attempting to calibrate right at the moment. Sometimes you can see that you'll have a decreased number of D's and F's.
Well, I have outcomes that I'm hoping my students will reach. There are of course learning objectives that have to do with my discipline. There are also social skills objectives and critical thinking objectives. And so when I see my students, I don't want to use the word mastering, but at least tackling those skills, getting into them and working on them, then I know that I'm moving in the right direction. And then I think also when you see that students want to do better in the things that they're working on, I feel like, okay, this is working. They want to learn. It has to come from them, right? So when they're taking ownership and they want to learn more, they want to get better, then I feel like I'm doing my job right. When everything's kind of stagnant, then it doesn't feel right.
Well, first you have to know who you're working with. And as you develop relationships with the people that you're dealing with, I'll start to have behaviors that I'll be looking for. For example, this one person in my class always, is a very shy person, doesn't speak up, but he's come a long way in that he's actually answering questions, but is very quiet now. But he used to not even do that. The best team on the planet, as far as educating a kid, is if you've got parents and teachers cooperating, trying to make things as good as possible for that child. There is nothing that's going to beat that. You can't have, you can have a really great teacher, really great parents, but if you don't have those people teaming together, you're not going to get as good a result.
And I want to be that. I want to be that big brother for them. I want to be that dad. I want to be that uncle, that role model they can look at and say, I want to be just like Mr. Brashaw. And you know what I'm saying? I say, I want you to be better than Mr. Brashaw.
Whatever it is they become passionate about, I just want them to have tools to do something about it and to know that sitting by isn't going to make this world change in the way or stay. However it is that you want to see the world, you have to do something about it. So all of our projects are tied into this idea of not being a bystander anymore.
I think letting them know that they matter is another big part of that connecting. And being a good teacher is, you matter. I care about you, other people care about you, and you have a place in this world.